How well do we see? How well do we see? The question is not about our physical sight. It's about our spiritual sight. Are we able to see the hand of God, the wisdom of God, the mind of God, the plan of God in everything that is happening in our life or in the world? Or do we go by external appearances, as we heard in the first reading? We tend to go by appearances, the externals, and we make our own judgment and assumptions. We make judgment and assumptions just by looking at appearances. How wrong we can be. Unless we understand the mind and heart of God, we are always bound to be wrong with just by looking at appearances. Here is a man born blind, never ever seen light or colors, born blind. And this man receives sight. He was given eyes to see, and he could see the face of God in Jesus. That is the story. I read only the very first part of the reading today. Hope you'll have time to read the whole chapter. This man is given sight, and eventually, slowly, he could see the face of God in Jesus. A blind man seeing the face of God. Not just its word and the colors, but the face of God in Jesus. Message for you and me is from the characters around this blind man who received the sight. The Lord is surrounded by these Pharisees. They were the saints of the time, keeping all the rules of Moses, everything to the letter. Nobody could find fault with them. According to them, the son of a carpenter is a rule breaker. This miracle was done on a Sabbath day. He broke the rules. So it means he is a sinner. Son of a carpenter, a rule breaker, a sinner. But come on, this man born blind is able to see. What a miracle. Nobody could do this miracle. He could do it. Couldn't you see something different? No. He's son of a carpenter. Look at him. Look at him from Nazareth, son of a carpenter. He doesn't bother about the rules. Rule breaker means logical sequence is rule breaker, sinner. Rule breaker, sinner. No Sabbath, sinner. Son of a carpenter, sinner. Now look at the disciples of Jesus. The same thing with the Pharisees. The question to Jesus, who sinned? For this man to be born blind, somebody must have sinned. Either this man or his parents or grandparents. Do we understand what we are talking about? From the Old Testament, Exodus 25, generational curses, generational sins of the parents going over to the children. The Jews and the disciples, they had this view. This to happen, he must have sinned, or his parents or grandparents. Somebody sinned. Somebody has to blame for this. The understanding was when you have a health and wealth, everything going well, God's blessings. If something goes wrong, illness, suffering, sorrow, they are God's curses, punishment. The understanding was of a God who punishes the sinners. When you live a good life, you are blessed. If you do evil, you are punished. Do we have the still understanding of such a God? Check your mind. Do we still think if life goes well, blessings all the way, wealth and health and everything going well, you think, oh, you are blessed? Or you think, if I live a good life, being a good Catholic, going to Mass, the devotions, the Rosary, Stations of the Cross, you have everything doing the right way, and you think life will go well? Life is supposed to go well because you do everything right? Do you believe so? Got it wrong. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. God is not a God who punishes because you happen to commit a sin. If you believe the way the Jews believed, you are still living in the Old Testament. What is the revelation we have in Jesus? Do we know the teaching of the church? Always read the Old Testament in the light of the gospel of Jesus. St. Augustine says the Old Testament is like a room that is very poorly lit, no light. You can't see a lot of things in the room. But you can't see very clearly what is there. A poorly lit room. Old Testament is a poorly lit room. You can't understand everything. There you find people creating God in their own image. Every time, success, blessing, failure, sin, punishment, illness, punishment, good health, blessing, wealth, you are blessed. This is just human logic. We may have the same kind of logic. Oh, if everything is going well, I am blessed. If I do the right thing, I'll be blessed. If I go to Mass, if I live a good life, a good Catholic, I am bound to be blessed. Now, to make the point clearer, look at this way. The Son of Man came to this earth. Jesus came to this. Jesus lived with us. What for? God became man. What for? To remove the doubt that Adam and Eve had, the original sin. I will call the original sin. What was their doubt? Think about this. In the Garden of Eden, everything given, enjoy everything. They were given no 10 commandments, only one commandment. That tree of good and evil, it is complicated. Everything fine. That department about good and evil, leave to me. That is my chair. Only that chair. Everything you occupy, enjoy, make the most. But that particular tree of good and evil, you don't know what is good, you know what. So leave that to me. That is my chair. Don't take it. Only one commandment. They are the human reason. They were given free will. They were not made like robots. You and me were all with the free will. We can choose. And they had this reason with if God is good, unconditional love, why this condition on that particular tree? Everything fine? If God is unconditional love, why this condition at all? So God must be calculating something. He must be cunning. He must be mean. He is holding on to something. So why this holding on to something, not giving us the freedom? Why this prohibition? He must be up to something, the doubt. The temptation is the doubt. Don't believe in him. He is not that good. He appears to be good. He told you enjoy, but he's not really good. Why this condition? He is thinking of something else. So don't trust in him. Don't trust in him. We have the same logic, don't we? Just as we think in terms of this. If all goes well, wonderful, God is good. Something goes wrong, punishment. Is he good? If he is good, why this is happening? If God is good, why that is going wrong? If God is good, why there's a war happening? Why is evil in the world? All sorts of evil. Why this is happening? If God is good, oh, you may think, oh, though your brain is working so well. Now bring the same logic to Jesus. He embraced human suffering. The Son of God, the purest man born on this earth, Son of God, God himself, and he embraced all human sufferings. No question. He embraced all human sufferings. Think about it. Rejection, hatred. In the end, on the cross, being nailed and died like a criminal, spat upon, beaten, flogged, everything he went through. Still, Father, forgive them. Unconditional forgiveness. Not those words, Father, forgive them. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know what. They are blind. Father, forgive them. Don't know. Just to forgive them. In the midst of his suffering, to forgiveness. Don't forget the whole gospel. All the sinners found mercy in him. No condemnation. The woman who was caught in adultery, your sins are forgiven, go in peace, don't sin anymore. The grace and truth at the same time. Zacchaeus, a tax collector, a fraud, oh yeah, he is forgiven. Matthew, the tax collector, he writes the gospel. Oh, Thomas, he wants to see the Lord, and the Lord goes to him. On the cross, before he took his last breath, again forgiveness. To the good thief on the cross. Think about it. That is a picture of God. Forget everything. If you have any doubts about the goodness, just think about the cross and that Jesus forgiving the good thief. You are with me in paradise tonight. No confession. No confession. Only he only said, Look, you are an innocent man. I am suffering for what I did. I have been evil, doing the wrong thing, but you are not from this earth. So will you remember me? Of course, you are with me today. This is a kind of forgiveness God gives to you and me. This is a picture of God we have to hold on to in every circumstance of life. I repeat, don't put into categories or human experience into categories. This is a blessing, this is a punishment. No, everything is God's blessing. Everything is God's blessing. Think about Beethoven, who was deaf. Was it a punishment or blessing? Wonderful music. Edison. There are so many in history who are born with some disability but the Lord used them for His own glory in most amazing ways. To close, my dear friends, look at everything in the light of Christ. Your life and sorrow, suffering and everything in the light of Christ. Look at everybody in the light of Christ. Your own struggles in the light of Christ. When you go through darkness and suffering in the light of Christ, always look at everything in the light of the cross. Look at death and the sadness of death, the loss of death, the pain of everything in the light of the empty tomb. You have got a wonderful light. You are not in darkness anymore. You can't say, I don't know God, I know God, because in Jesus, the face of God has been revealed. The heart of God has been revealed. I can look at everything, life and death and suffering and sorrow, everything in the light of Christ. If you can see everything in the light of Christ, you can be sure you have God, the perfect sight.